hey, you, do you have kids? I wasn't even going to make this video, but I have to, because I wanted to say that if you have kids in today's world, I give you the utmost respect. This is the environment in which we're raising children today, the environment in which kids have to grow up today, where, you know, as much as there's a lot of free thinking out there, when a kid has a lot of free thinking, it gives him a lot of free time to decide what's right for himself. And raising children has completely changed. I know that when I was a kid, of course, there was the issue of, you know, we had television too, but, and when my parents were kids, they had television too, but it was different. The cartoons were on at limited times, and we generally went outside and we played and we did things. And today, every kid out there, you know, who's over 2-3 years old, is obsessed over iPads. They want to play a game. They want to look at a video about nature or science. If they're like my kid who tries to justify, like, well, I want to watch a video about, I want to learn something, knowing that, you know, I want him to learn, but that format of learning is very difficult. I mean, I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, but I also have a 22-year-old who we raised from, you know, I met, he's my stepson, and I met my wife when he was 3. And even at that time, of course, there was Cartoon Network and other things, but we could limit television time, you know. Today, everybody has multiple phones and pads, and it's so much easier to teach your kid something on the internet and have them be obsessed about learning on the internet and want to do it all the time. And I guess this leans towards technology, this video, because that's really one of the bigger issues that I face as a parent with my kids. And I'm assuming that many of you probably face the same problem if you're parents. And there's a lot of folks who may say, well, I don't let my kids have pads. You know, I take them away, or I limit my kids' time. We all limit our kids' time, but it's, well, not all of us, but I do. You know, we try to give my son a couple hours a day to play Minecraft, and he gets to build and do things, and I think that's great. But sometimes it becomes a little bit more, and it's hard to get away from it, because video games cause a dopamine rush of happiness, a rush of excitement, euphoria, and withdrawal. And just like any other drug, there's addiction to games, addiction to television, addiction to shopping, addiction to skydiving, whatever it might be for an individual. Kids haven't discovered themselves yet or become in control of those emotions. So for me to sit down with my 7-year-old and explain to him how dopamine works in the brain, he knows these things. He watches a lot of science stuff with me and likes to watch it on his own. He'll sit there and watch TED Talks, you know, all the way through. He's a smart kid, and he gets it. In fact, we were talking about energy the other day, and he comes in and we were talking about how the body produces energy, and he goes, yeah, ATP, the cells use ATP to produce energy. And it was just like stuff that just blows my mind, that I never would have known as a kid. So on one hand, the kids are getting much smarter. They're learning a lot more quicker because they're exposed to it. And that's the positive side, maybe. The downside of this is this means that they're more advanced in the school system that they're in, which is the second thing I would like to mention besides technology. Is a lot of people say, I want to have kids and I want to homeschool them, and that was my intention too. But if you're working, if you're trying to make a living too, homeschooling kids is very difficult, and you want them to socialize. A lot of people maybe send their kids to school for a few years and then bring them out and homeschool them, which is what I'm going to give him the option in the long run. But I think the socialization is important, and a small amount of structure, but no, you don't want your kid to be limited by what they're told they can and can't do, or a class that's still reading at a first grade level when you're reading at a third grade level. So we have to decide these things, but then we have to say, hey, college is complete bullshit. We're learning that now. It's not that you can't gain something from college, it's just that most people who go to college end up owing massive amounts of debt, and the whole system is a scam. So you may be able to make off in the long run, but it's way overpriced, and textbooks are way overpriced. The whole system is designed to make money. So it makes it difficult to want to send your kid to a college. And on top of this, you know, we're always advertised to, pushed in every direction. I'm very fortunate, at least one of the positive sides of it is that I don't have Oops, spilled my coffee. Darn it. I don't have I don't have cable, so I don't have to worry about them watching commercials or, but they'll still see ads and whatnot. They're everywhere. They're in games, cereal boxes, previews, everywhere. So you can't escape it. You just have to teach your children how to recognize and avoid being marketed to. My kid's pretty good at recognizing those things. All of them are, and I'm grateful for that, but it's damn hard. And then you want to give your kids all the time in the world, and I guess that'll be the last thing I'll mention. I'm a stay-at-home dad, but I work from home, so it's not like I just take care of the kids. I still have to do my business. So I'm out there working, and I want to be able to hang out with them, but I have other things to do. It's really hard because you say, I want to spend all this time with my kids, but what do you really do? How much time can you really play? And there's also the aspect of them needing to learn to be independent. So I commend all of you parents out there, and I wish you luck in this, crazy world that we live in. And the truth is, it's different, but it's always been different. We've always been changing. Back when the car came about, it was the crazy new thing that kids wanted to drive. It's just how it is. Every generation has something, but it's a little more extreme with the technology. So we just do our best. Take care, everybody, and have a good day.